Are you brave enough to face the things that go bump in the night, to stare into the abyss of the unknown? Here on this channel, we don't shy away from the darkness, we confront it. Tonight, we're diving deep into the icy waters of fear itself, exploring 3 tales that are guaranteed to chill you to your core. These aren't your average campfire stories, folks. These are the kinds of nightmares that linger long after you've closed your eyes. So turn off those lights, bolt the door, and crank up the volume. But be warned, once you enter this realm, there's no turning back. You might want to grab a blanket. You're going to need it. Are you ready? Let the terror begin. Nestled deep in the heart of a forgotten town, shrouded by a veil of mist and whispers, stands a house. But this is no ordinary dwelling. This house is a vessel of secrets, a tomb of forgotten memories, stained with the darkness of a sinister past. Locals tell tales of a family torn apart by tragedy, their souls forever bound to the decaying timbers of the home. They speak of lights flickering in the dead of night, of blood-curdling screams echoing from within its vacant halls. Some say the house feeds on fear, drawing in unsuspecting souls with the promise of shelter, only to trap them within its haunted walls for eternity. The bravest dare not approach, for the house holds a power that chills the very marrow. This, my friends, is the story of the house that no one dares to enter. It all started with one dare. A group of teenagers, fueled by youthful arrogance and a thirst for the unknown, decided to tempt fate. They had heard the whispers, the warnings whispered from generation to generation. They dismissed the stories as mere folklore, old wives' tales meant to scare children. They were determined to prove that the house, despite its sinister reputation, was nothing more than a pile of rotting wood and broken dreams. As night fell, casting an eerie glow upon the dilapidated structure, they approached. Each footstep crunching on the overgrown path seemed to echo with a warning, but they pressed on, their bravado masking a growing unease. Little did they know they were about to become another chapter in the house's dark history. The old oak door creaked open as if inviting them inside. A musty, cold air hit them, carrying with it the scent of decay and something else, something unsettling. As they stepped across the threshold, the air grew heavy, thick with an oppressive silence. The floorboards groaned under their weight, each step punctuated by the sound of their own pounding hearts. They explored the darkened rooms, their flashlights cutting through the gloom, revealing glimpses of forgotten lives. A dusty cradle in a corner, a tattered wedding portrait hanging askew on the wall. And then the whispers began. Soft, indistinct murmurs seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves, swirling around them like a ghostly breeze. They couldn't make out the words, but the tone sent shivers down their spines. The house was alive, watching their every move, and it was hungry. Panic began to set in as the whispers grew louder, more insistent. They were surrounded by an unseen force, their youthful bravado crumbling like dust. One of the teenagers, a girl named Sarah, screamed. Floating in the middle of the room, a shimmering apparition coalesced before their very eyes. It was the spectral figure of a woman, her face contorted in an expression of pure anguish, her eyes burning with a cold, otherworldly fire. The teenagers stumbled back in terror, their blood turning to ice. The ghost, its sorrowful wails echoing through the house, reached out towards them, its spectral fingers leaving icy trails in the air. They had awakened something evil, something ancient and vengeful, and it had no intention of letting them leave alive. Sleep. It's supposed to be a sanctuary, a refuge from the anxieties and fears of our waking lives. But what happens when the very act of closing your eyes opens a door to a realm of unimaginable terror? There's a reason why some stories are whispered, passed from person to person like a dark secret, a warning. This is one of those stories. It's about the unseen entity that lurks in the shadows of our minds, the dream stalker. It doesn't announce its arrival, no. It slips into your subconscious when you're at your most vulnerable. When the line between reality and nightmare blurs, you'll feel its presence before you see it. A coldness that seeps into your bones, a feeling of being watched, and then it will appear. Victims describe it as a shadowy figure, its edges constantly shifting, its face always obscured by darkness. But there's something about its eyes, they say. Two piercing points of light that seem to burn into your very soul, stripping away your defenses, exposing your deepest fears. It doesn't speak, not in words we understand, but it communicates through a chilling silence, a suffocating presence that leaves you paralyzed, helpless in the grip of your own nightmare. You try to scream, to wake yourself from the terrifying dream, but your voice is trapped, your body frozen. The dream stalker feeds on your terror, growing stronger with each passing moment, and just when you think you can take no more, it vanishes, leaving you to question your sanity, to wonder if the horror you experienced was real or just a figment of your own imagination. But the nightmare doesn't end when you open your eyes. The dream stalker leaves its mark, a chilling reminder of its visit. The victims are forever changed, haunted by the memory of those piercing eyes, the suffocating presence. Their sleep is plagued by nightmares, their waking hours consumed by paranoia. They become withdrawn, isolated, their lives spiraling out of control as the line between reality and nightmare blurs. Some whisper of a curse, a malevolent entity that attaches itself to those who dare to dream, slowly draining them of their sanity, their will to live. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. The dream stalker is a terrifying reminder that even in the supposed safety of our own minds, we are not alone. Reports of the dream stalker started slowly, isolated incidents dismissed as sleep paralysis or night terrors. But as the stories spread, a chilling pattern emerged. The victims were from all walks of life, had no connection to each other, except for one terrifying detail. They all described the same shadowy figure, the same piercing eyes that seemed to stare into their very souls. Whispers of the dream stalker began to surface online, in hushed tones in dark corners of the internet. People shared their experiences, their fears, desperate for answers, for reassurance that they weren't alone. But the truth is, no one knows how to stop the dream stalker. It moves through the shadows of our subconscious, a terrifying reminder that some nightmares are all too real. Our final story brings us face to face with something insidious, something that doesn't need a chilling visage or blood-curdling scream to instill terror. This is the story of an object, unassuming at first glance, but hiding a deeply disturbing truth. The common thread? Unfathomable misfortune tied to its possession. Imagine a dusty antique shop, crammed with forgotten relics from bygone eras. There it sits, nestled among chipped teacups and faded photographs, the cursed object. But heed this warning, for such curiosity often comes at a dreadful price. Its very existence is a curse, a conduit for misfortune that stains the lives of all who dare to possess it. Those who succumb to its allure often experience a string of horrifying events. The stories surrounding cursed objects are often fragmented, passed down through whispers and hushed tones. But every now and then we catch a glimpse of a lineage, a family tree twisted and gnarled by the object's influence. Imagine inheriting a seemingly beautiful heirloom, a grandfather's pocket watch, a grandmother's pearl necklace, an object meant to connect you to your past, but instead it binds you to a terrifying fate. Each generation touched by the object suffers. The first may experience financial ruin, their wealth vanishing overnight. The second might face a string of bizarre accidents, each one a hair's breadth from claiming their life. The third might be driven to madness, haunted by visions and voices only they can see and hear. And with each passing generation, the curse seems to grow stronger, its grip on the family tightening like a vice. The family may try to rid themselves of the object, of course. They might try to destroy it, but it remains frustratingly intact, as if impervious to all harm. They might try to discard it, only to find it mysteriously returned, sitting on their doorstep or tucked away in their luggage. The object is relentless, a constant reminder of the darkness that clings to their bloodline. And so the cycle continues, a macabre inheritance passed down from one unsuspecting descendant to another. Each generation is left grappling with the same horrifying question. Is it possible to escape the curse, or are they destined to become another tragic chapter in the object's blood-soaked history? The origins of these cursed objects are often shrouded in mystery, lost to the annals of time. Some whisper of ancient rituals gone wrong, of powerful entities inadvertently bound to these earthly vessels. Others speak of dark pacts made in desperation, the price of which continues to be paid for generations to come. Imagine for a moment a time long ago when the world was a much different place. A time when magic was not the stuff of fairy tales, but a potent force, wielded by those who dared to dabble in its mysteries. Perhaps the object was once a sacred relic, twisted and corrupted by a sorcerer's greed. Or perhaps it was a simple object, an everyday item imbued with unimaginable power through a tragic accident or a moment of pure, unadulterated hatred. Whatever the cause, the result is the same, an object infused with a malevolent energy that seems to defy the natural order of things. It exists outside the realm of our understanding, a chilling reminder that there are forces at play in this universe far beyond our comprehension. And the truly terrifying thing is, these objects are not confined to dusty museums or forgotten tombs. They could be anywhere, masquerading as harmless trinkets in flea markets, antique shops, or even passed down through your own family lineage. The question is, would you know if you stumbled upon one? And even more unsettling, what would you do? The stories of cursed objects often leave us with a lingering sense of unease, a chilling reminder that some things are best left undisturbed. But what happens when the curse is thrust upon you, an unwanted inheritance or a chance encounter with something you never should have touched? Is it possible to break free from the clutches of a cursed object, to sever the ties that bind you to its sinister influence? Perhaps there's a ritual to be performed, a debt to be repaid, or a wrong to be righted. Others believe the only escape is through destruction. But how do you destroy something that seems impervious to all harm? The stories serve as a warning, a chilling reminder of the unseen forces that shape our world. And as you hold that old locket in your hand or hang that antique painting on your wall, remember this: some things are best left untouched. And there you have it, another descent into the darkest corners of our collective nightmares. The haunted house that stands silent, a monument to unseen horrors. The dream stalker weaving nightmares into reality, driving its victims to the brink. And the cursed object, a silent bringer of misfortune, leaving a trail of shattered lives in its wake. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed these terrifying tales, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more spine-chilling stories, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload. And be sure to share your own scary experiences in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe and stay scared.